For what?
I didn't want my feelings to get away like that. I just wanted you to hold me for a minute.
We all have feelings. Can't apologize for that.
But it's not right, is it?
We can't be ashamed of it.
I'm so sorry I kept you this late. I know you have an early morning flight, Michael.
I can sleep on the plane to New York. I don't want to leave you like this.
You want to sit down for a few minutes?
Yes, I do.
Please do. I don't want you to go at all. You're the first contact I've had with home since I've been here. I miss so many things.
We have to have a talk.
About what?
About us. And about the way I feel about us.
Lucille, are you still there?
Yes.
I thought the connection was broken.
It's just that I'm really not very interested in your news about Mr. Stafford.
Oh, really? I thought you would have. It is, as they say, a very small world sometimes, isn't it?
Yes. Much too small lately.
Yes, after all, Alan was once involved with Mr. Stafford's daughter, Janice. She's the girl who drowned him, of course, while Alan was still in Chicago.
Ross, did you call me here to tell me that?
Well, you were very close to Alan's father at the time.
I have already told you. Brandon never mentioned that girl to me, or Alan's involvement with her.
Yes, so you did.
But I am much more interested in your other news.
Oh, what news is that?
You know perfectly well. You said you'd found a way of driving a wedge between Amanda and Ben, using that secret of Amanda's you still refuse to tell me about.
You may know about that before too much longer, because if my friend works as quickly as I expect her to, there won't be a secret anymore, or a marriage either.
Well, that's very reassuring. I can't wait for Amanda to be free of Ben before he takes her money and leaves her heartbroken and penniless.
Yes, I'm rather eager for her to be free of Ben myself.
Well, I'm relieved to hear that. I was beginning to think you'd lost interest in helping me with the problem of Ben McFarren.
Yes, well, perhaps I did for a little, but things have changed. I mean, Ben did something earlier that makes me distrust him even more.
What was that?
Lucille, it's too complicated to go into now. I've got to join the others at dinner before Alan and the rest of them come in here to see what's delaying me. Now, I don't want them finding me talking to you because Ben and Amanda are here, too, and I'm not supposed to know where you are, you know.
Yes, I know.
So I'll say goodbye to them.
Wait, just a moment, Ross.
Now what?
I'm taking a plane back to Springfield tonight.
Ah, the specialist you're seeing down there has finally finished treating you, then?
I don't find that amusing, Ross.
I'm sorry. Now, just make sure you destroy your plane tickets and the Palm Beach hotel bill, because I don't want us caught in a blunder like that after I've lied to Ben and Amanda to cover up for your sudden trip to Dallas.
You're being very well paid for that. You remember I've left you everything I own except the house and the grounds?
Oh, I haven't forgotten that, Lucille, not for a minute.
Good.
Of course, you might try to write a new will with another lawyer when you get back.
I wouldn't dream of such a thing.
No, you'd better not, or I'd be forced to tell Ben and Amanda all I know, and then you'd lose her forever. And after everything you've done to make sure that never happens.
I love this place.
I thought you would.
I have to keep reminding myself that I've come home to Springfield. I keep feeling like a visitor on vacation.
Well, that'll change when you start working again.
I'm not sure I want to.
Why?
It's a very nice feeling. A little unreal, though.
Have I told you lately how happy I am to have you back here again?
You tell me all the time.
My life was so empty while you were away.
I'm sorry for that.
You know, I was thinking tonight when we were driving over here. We still have to find each other again, you know.
Yes, we do.
Well, time, I'm sure that we'll be able to be less awkward with each other, and we might even be able to hold a normal conversation again without... We'll be able to enjoy things without talking about them or analyzing them.
I know what you're saying, and I agree, but there's one question still. I'm not even sure I should ask it.
All right, what is it, Rita? Tell me, whatever's on your mind.
All right. What if we find out that we can't really ever get back what we once had together? And what happens then?
And now, the award-winning Guiding Light.
And I'm not being negative. I'm just trying to be realistic.
I know. But it's a little early to judge things like that. We've got to give it more time.
Well, I've enjoyed every minute I've spent with you since we got off the plane in Bluefield.
I have too. But, you know, as we go along, we're going to have to sit down and talk about everything that went wrong in our marriage. And objectively. Look, I knew when we got back together again that things might not work out the way we'd hoped. I think we both did. But I think we should take the positive approach and believe that things will work out.
Are we running a very big risk of being terribly disappointed if they don't? I couldn't face that.
Neither could I. So we'll just have to work very hard to make sure that it does work.
Well, we may not be able to stop it.
Well, let's not talk about that tonight, huh?
Ed, I'd still like an answer.
All right. If we have to admit down the line that it just isn't going to work out, I think we're both adult enough to accept it and not be bitter, because at least we tried. If we hadn't tried, we would have lost anyway, because we both know it would have ended up in divorce.
That answers my question. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what would you like to do for the rest of the evening?
I don't know, what time is it?
A little after 8.
Well, why don't we drive back into town and then see how we feel?
Fine.
Wasn't that thoughtful of the management to put my favorite flowers on the table?
Glad you like them.
Tell me something, Ed.
What?
Why aren't they on any of the other tables?
Because I arranged for them when I called to make the reservation.
I should have known. Thank you.
See, we're all pleased that you came tonight.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I thought you'd be here when I got in here, Holly, but you were off doing your volunteer work somewhere, and I guess Chrissy was playing with a little friend next door.
Did you feel deserted?
No, I just wanted to spend a little time with you, Chrissy.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I thought you and Mother should have a nice, quiet dinner together.
Well, she did an absolutely wonderful job, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's no trouble. You know how much I love cooking.
No, I appreciate it very much, Barbara. It was delicious.
Good. Then I hope that means that you'll be over here more often.
Of course.
Good.
Holly, you're really looking well lately, you know that?
Thank you. I feel a lot happier. I guess it shows.
Oh, it does, believe me.
In this new life that I'm beginning, I'm feeling somehow more useful.
Well, I imagine your volunteer work has a lot to do with that.
Yes, really, working with those children is really a step in the right direction. And now I know there are more satisfying things ahead. I just have to keep looking for them.
Oh, I want you to relax, too, darling, and enjoy your life.
I am enjoying it. I'm relaxed. Just have to keep open for any changes in case they're right for me. I'm feeling a lot of energy lately. It's as if there is this new force in my life that's going to bring on something new.
And you really don't know what that is.
No. I'll keep looking for it. There is something I wanted to talk to both of you about, especially you, Adam.
Sure.
I don't want you to misunderstand why I feel I should do this.
Well, what is it, Holly?
I feel the next step I have to take to rid myself of any connection with Roger. I realize tonight that everyone knows me as Holly Thorpe. Naturally, it's the name I gave. It's my legal name, which would have changed if I had married Peter.
And now you want to change your name legally.
Yes. Can you understand why?
Of course I can, Holly, and I think you should do it. I mean, it's not a very complicated procedure.
I just wouldn't want you to misunderstand the reasons why.
No, I do understand. Believe me, Holly.
After all, it is your name, as well as yours.
Yes, but I never thought of my name in connection with Roger.
No, of course not. You were not married to him.
She's right, Bob.
I am just trying to make up for all the mistakes I've made. Most of them because of Roger. And I think this can only help. I'm also thinking of how it affects other people. I mean, every time Ed sees Mrs. Thorpe on the hospital records, it's got to remind him of all the trouble he's been through because of Roger.
Well, I don't feel he feels that there's any connection, really.
I think he does.
It's possible.
I know I can't make him forget, but if I can, I'd like to ease the memory of it all. So if you do both understand, then when Mike gets back, I'd like to call him and tell him to do whatever he has to do to change my name back to Norris.
You know, when I was in France, I took a trip that I'd promised myself for a long time. I went to a small town in Brittany where Renee had been brought up, and I visited the graveyard where she'd been buried.
I knew you were close. I didn't realize you were that close.
I didn't either until I lost her.
Is this what you wanted to talk about?
Partly.
What's the rest of it?
You remember when we were in Aspen, we talked about our feelings for each other and how things could never work out for us and how eventually we'd have to get over those feelings for each other.
I remember very well.
Well, Renee was the beginning of that for me. I was starting to feel close to somebody for the first time since you. And it might have developed into something if she'd lived.
I very much wish that it had.
I realize that I need that special person in my life and that I'm lost without it.
Then I hope very much you find it. You'd serve the very best life has to offer.